Are you not happy with your current website, landing page, and marketing funnel builder? No? Well, you're not alone. Neither were we. And that's why today we're happy to introduce you to the all-new GroovePages. That's right, we've reinvented the drag and drop page and funnel builder. Hi, my name is Mike Filsaime, and in recent years, I have created or co-founded many of the most successful online software platforms for digital and e-commerce marketers. Some you might even have heard of, brands like Webinar Jam and EverWebinar. But I sold my stake in those companies in 2016. This gave me some time to reevaluate the market, see emerging leaders, and plan what it would take to build a legacy platform to leapfrog anything on the market today. The first thing we needed was to create a dream team. So, in 2019, I, along with my three awesome partners, John Cornetta, Matt Serralta, and Matt Naus, formed Groove Digital. Our vision is simple: create the most powerful, the most affordable, and the easiest to use software platforms for e-commerce and digital marketers, period. And we did just that. In early 2019, we launched our first project, GrooveKart, to compete with Shopify. GrooveKart launched to thousands of new customers with outstanding reviews. The smash success of GrooveKart allowed us to invest over $1 million in development in just the last 9 months. And today, we're announcing our biggest and boldest project yet, the all-new GroovePages. GroovePages is a cutting-edge, drag-and-drop landing page builder. Well, it's also a website builder. Even more than that, it's a high-converting, money-making marketing funnel builder. That's right, GroovePages is the only page builder on the market today that can create landing pages, marketing funnels, and professionally branded websites with full navigation. But don't take my word for it. You'll just have to see it to believe it. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. So let's set the date for June 2010 and hop in the DeLorean and jump back in time to talk about the current terrible place of page builders and how we got here. Okay, it's now 2010. WordPress 3.0 had just come out, and it was supposed to make building websites easy. Yeah, right. You see, we all learned the hard way. What made WordPress cool ended up being its downfall. Complicated themes and plugins that were slow, clunky, and worst of all, many of these plugins ended up conflicting with each other. Plus, the security issues. If you didn't update your install as soon as a new version came out, you were vulnerable to hackers. Yuck. And truth be told, that's why you could not pay me or most people to use an unoptimized page builder designed for WordPress. Back in the DeLorean we go, and let's go forward a few more years. Okay, we are now passing through 2013 and 2014. The page and funnel builders are all the rage, with hefty monthly fees to go along with it. They did solve the issue of getting away from WordPress. That was good, but they're just not easy to use, and they're overly complex. Their UI, or user interface, is, how do I say this nicely? A hot mess. And what you're left with is simply this: the cool new software that once promised you could fire your web developer should no longer make that promise. It's simply not true. The sad truth is this: for beginners and intermediate users alike, those once cool platforms have now become outdated, period. As a result, it has become necessary to hire an agency or an in-house tech team to build your funnels and deploy them. And if you're like me, I'm not a fan of having to pay for an easy-to-use software only to later have to pay even more just to create and deploy what's needed for my marketing. And finally, these page and funnel builders don't allow you to create real brand websites with full navigation. So in the end, you're still stuck also needing WordPress. What's that, you say? Squarespace? Okay, don't even get me started on Wix or this video is sponsored by Squarespace. Yeah, I know. You can build a pretty site with Wix or Squarespace, but let's face it, you don't convert leads or make money with a pretty site. You just get to tell your friends that you have a pretty site. So now that brings us back to current day. So, what to do? As of now, there has never been a platform that can do it all, while also being easy to use, affordable, and able to create websites, pages, and funnels that convert visitors into leads and leads into customers. Until now. And that's why, today, we are excited to introduce the all-new GroovePages. Welcome to the future. Imagine now, with GroovePages, you will now have a platform that is fun and easy to use, check. Affordable? Check. Fast loading? Check. SEO friendly? Check. Mobile friendly? Check. Mobile first indexing compliant? Check. Made for designers? Hell no. Want to learn CSS? Go to Skillshare. Made for beginners that want results? Check. Loaded and ready for you with hundreds of gorgeous high-end converting drag and drop blocks and templates? Check. Made for marketers that want conversions? Check, check, check. Today, GroovePages grants you full access with unlimited sites, unlimited pages, and unlimited funnels. Boom. You'll have unlimited images, unlimited hosting, and unlimited bandwidth. Bam! Let's talk about our tech stack. Now, that's geek speak for what makes us special. Many builders out there are good, but not great. Not what we consider great. In fact, all of the page builders that I have mentioned are good, not great, simply for the same reason. They are old. You see, most of them are developed using a front-end framework called Bootstrap, which is good. And yes, it was developed by Twitter, but over 9 years ago. That's like MySpace years ago. But seriously, new and better alternative frameworks that are available today allow us to create websites in an easier and more efficient manner with better results. Instead of Bootstrap, we use the progressive JavaScript framework called Vue.js. This allows us to do anything in a page builder that HTML, CSS, and JavaScript can do. We are not limited to Bootstrap and sites that look like Bootstrap like most of the other page builders on the market. Of course, you get expertly designed templates, blocks, landing pages, conversion funnels, webinar funnels, and of course, killer brand websites. But we want to allow you to do things faster and easier than ever before, while also creating better looking, higher converting sites, pages, and funnels. And here's an exclusive feature only available with GroovePages. On top of our premium designer blocks, we are also introducing a new way to build sites using layout mockups. These layout mockups are prototype or wireframe blocks that allow you to focus on layout and not get distracted with colors, text, and images that may distract you and take away from your focus. Later, with a click of a button, you can change the layout mockups to match your theme. It's revolutionary, and you really need to see it to believe it. Oh, and you use blogs for updated content and SEO? Now you can leave WordPress for good. You will be glad to know that in 2020, we will be releasing GrooveBlog, our blog management feature into GroovePages. Finally, you can run everything on your entire website in one place if you're using blogs. Plus, GroovePages will have all of the cool things like countdown timers, pop-ups, and millions of royalty-free images. Integrations? Yes, we will integrate with every popular email and webinar platform you can think of. While we focus on making it easy, we do have an expert mode. You're a design geek? Yes, we will have an under the hood feature to allow you to do anything you need to behind the scenes for pixel perfect accuracy. If you want, you can get access to the page code or drill down to a block or even an element to isolate code. And our editor has a full CSS style injector to allow you to do anything that can possibly be done on a web page. There's a lot more that makes GroovePages special that's just too long for this video. Please take a look at the page below for more awesome details. But our main focus is on the user interface to help you create a pixel perfect and font perfect final product with perfect web standards and uniform design that will still convert better than anything on the market today. No one can make that claim. You see, our goal is to make it nearly impossible to create ugly, Frankenstein designed sites. Now, we know you may think your current platform gets the job done. Okay, that may be true, but everyone thinks a Toyota Camry is awesome until they drive a Lexus. So if we are more affordable, faster and easy to use, and allow you to create pages that look and convert better, don't you think you owe it to yourself to build your own company on GroovePages? So here's why you want to get started today during our grand opening and not later. Today, you can get access to GroovePages for just $1, and you get to try everything for the next 14 days. Yup, for just $1. If it's not everything we say it is and more, of course, you can cancel at any time. And if you love it, which we think you will get grandfathered in at just $99 a month. This means that when we raise prices and charge more later for features that you're getting today, you won't pay more. But hang on, you're also getting some huge bonuses only available during this grand opening. To see what bonuses you get right now, see the limited time grand opening bonus section below. Right there, you're going to learn how to get instant access to our other brand new product called GrooveSell, which helps you sell your digital products and get an army of affiliates to help you. You really need to check that one out. And we're still not done yet. When you get access today during this grand opening, you'll also get future access to the all-new Groove Mail, and we'll give you 2,500 contacts to mail for free at no extra cost. And Groove Mail is scheduled to launch in late spring. And one more cool thing for starting today during the grand opening, we're also going to give you future access to the all-new Webinar Groove for live and automated webinars at no extra cost later. Webinar Groove is scheduled to launch in late summer. And finally, in 2020 and 2021, we also plan on rolling out new features like Groove Video, Groove Membership, Groove Blog, Groove Help Desk, Groove Calendar, and more. Now please note later, these will all be premium add-ons, but not for you. That's right, lock them in now and you won't pay extra when we roll them out. So let's recap. In a nutshell, GroovePages has all of the features that are in the latest cutting edge builders, even in the beta. You'll get hundreds of wireframe blocks, hundreds of designer blocks, dozens of templates, dozens of sites, and dozens of funnels. And of course, we'll be adding more and more as we continue to grow. Plus, you'll get instant access to GrooveSell, and of course, all the killer GroovePages features that are planned for the very near future. Plus, future major add-ons like Groove Mail, Webinar Groove, Groove Blog, Groove Video, Groove Membership, Groove Help Desk, Groove Calendar, and more. See the page below for the roadmap. Hurry, this grand opening offer is ending soon. And when it closes, this offer is gone forever. Later, others will pay many hundreds more each month for fewer features than you are getting here today. So get started now, get instant access to GroovePages beta with GrooveSell. Lock this in now and you won't pay extra when we roll out the new killer apps and features. The only thing you have to lose are the savings if you don't take action now. So don't miss out. Please hurry before this grand opening offer ends. Once it's gone, you will pay more for less. Thank you, and we look forward to having you as a charter member of the all-new GroovePages. This is our login page, and as you can see, the login is going to be at Groove Apps. So we're going to click Login here. And the first thing I'm going to show you in the interface here is this little thing down here that opens up the different apps that we're going to have. So right now we have GroovePages and GrooveSell. I'm going to show you that demo right here in just a minute. If you're hearing that in the background, that's my cat. He's doing his 6 o'clock howls that he does all the time. Groove Mail, we believe will be coming March 1st, and by the end of summer, Webinar Groove is what we have on track for you. So right now we're in GroovePages, so I'm just going to click Switch to GroovePages. We'll close this up, and what you're seeing right here are all of your different sites. Okay, and we can open up a filter here, and we can search by pages. I can put just the name in of the site here. We can search by the creation date or the last time that it was updated. Okay, but as you can see, these are just some demos that Matt's making, I've made, just to play around with it. What we're going to actually do is click on New Site. Okay, so here we go. Click on New Site, and the first thing it's going to ask us is, do we want to start from scratch or a blank template? And we're going to start from scratch right now by clicking Blank Template. All right, and here's how the templates are going to work. Now, the first thing I want to let you know is we're doing something out of the box that no other page builder does yet. We're giving you two different types of ways to design a page. One is with what we call prototype blocks, and one is with what we call, let me just open up my designer here, what we call full design blocks. And let me give you an example of what you're familiar with when we say design blocks, okay? That's something along the lines
Wow, we've got a lot of new stuff here. If I click on here, these are what you're familiar with, right? And something like, any page builder where, we call them blocks and you just drag them in, right? So these are currently being designed. What you're seeing right here is an app that we call Zeppelin, or not that we call, I sound like Donald Trump. I call it Zeppelin. This is an application that our designers go in and they create. These right here are called, the header covers, the desktop covers, probably the first thing that goes under the navigation. So these are just started to get designed literally just 3 days ago. But you can see these are, some pretty cool designs. But we're just getting started on these. Of course, we're going to be also bringing in the 450 blocks that we have in the free page builder or GroovePages 1.0, but we're designing new blocks here, as you can see as we speak. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit more. I think you kind of get the picture. But these are really, highly professional blocks that are being designed by our design team. Also, when he's done with the blocks, then he's going to go in and he's going to start actually creating the webinar funnels, the landing page, the thank you page, product launch funnels, tripwire funnels, book funnels, opt-in funnels, you name it. All that stuff is going to be done. Now, again, we still have 5 weeks to work on all of this stuff. This is a preview demo that you're seeing. These designer blocks have not made it into the system yet. In fact, we're probably only going to be launching with just a few designer blocks, and by the time the launch is done, we'll have most of the designer blocks, and then when we close down the beta in December, it'll probably take us till February 1st until we actually have the funnels built out, if we can even get them all done that fast. But let me show you what we what we do have. Okay, and as you can see, these are what we call the mock-up blocks that we had worked on. Okay, and let's look at them actually in the app. I think many of you, if you've been on the trainings, have actually seen that before. Now, this is how it looks in the app. Now, the first thing that we need to do is we need to understand that this is not like Clickfunnels or lead pages. This is a leapfrog in technology. We're actually allowing you to create not just pages, not just funnels, but also full websites. So let me give you an example of what that means. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to pages, and look at that. I'm already in my home page, but I don't have any other pages here, right? And I can do some cool things in here. I can rename my home page if I want, but we'll do that in just a minute with something else. We have our clone feature, hide from navigation, which I'll show you in a minute, and edit settings. And this is where we put all of our stuff, like the page name, the title, any tags for SEO, right? And then any of the Facebook codes and stuff that they say to put into a specific page. Okay, and we can even do what's known as the open graph. Let's just put it this way. It basically means when somebody shares your page on Facebook, show this image and show this title and description. The reason why, if you don't do this, and a lot of softwares don't have this, then what Google does, what Facebook does when you put in a URL is it finds the first image on your page, and sometimes that's like an icon or your logo, and it blows it up and it looks all pixelated, and then it uses the first bit of words in your site, so it doesn't give the proper call to action stuff that you want when people share. Now, this is a page setting. I'm just going to pop over here for a minute on the right, and I'm going to click on site settings, because what this is global. Okay, this means that I can put some code in the header of every page on the website. If I want to put something in the body of every page on the website, I put it here. And sometimes they say put it at the bottom footer, that would go here. And then again, you can put the social graph for every single page on the website. And when you're done, you hit the checkbox and you're done. So we're going to go back to the pages, and we're going to create some pages, but I want to show you how cool this is. So let's see, what does a regular website have for pages, right? Now, when we click here, as you see, I'm going to click close. When you see we add a page, all of our template libraries, this will probably open up full page. The template libraries where it's going to say webinars, product launches, book funnels, tripwires, 404 pages, you're going to have all of those in here to choose from. But here we're just going to say blank. Right? And now I have something called page 2, and you can see I'm in page 2 here. And we're going to rename that. And let's call that something like about us, right? We've seen that before. Let's create another page called media, blank page. Let's rename it. We'll call that media. And let's just create another one called login. I'm just having a little bit of fun here. I'll create one more real quick. So let's make this support, right? That's a very common link sometimes. And we're going to put this one over here, and we're going to call it login. Okay, so what I've just done is I've created 5 pages in my site. I hit the checkbox and we're done. But here's the other thing. We also have sub-navigation. What that means is, so how do I create something so that when they're hovering over the navigation, I can have a drop-down menu? Well, look at this. The media might really be in our About Us. So what I do is I just pull it up, move it over to the right until I see it indent, and I drop it. And now this is now what's called a nested menu, or a drop-down menu, that when you hover over the About. And that's it. We're done. Now I'm going to click save over here. I want you to realize over here, I'll show you some things. We have the undo button, which is really nice. You can just click undo unlimited number of times to go back. We even have over here revisions. If I click this, over here we'll get a list of every single time I ever hit save, and you can go back. Like if you're like, oh man, I've completely messed this thing up, I'm going to cancel that. So you've got your revisions as well. So let's move over to our home page, and I can just click on here by doing that. Or what I can do is I can just go up here at any time and just move over to the home page. So let's start designing it. Now let's look at the blocks. Now, here are the categories of blocks. And as you can remember, I told you earlier, you're going to have a tab up here that's going to say prototype blocks or designer blocks. And sometimes you want to use a prototype because you don't want to, spend all this time where sometimes the one block is blue and it has a picture of a person skateboarding, and the next block that you pull over has a picture of a house and it's green, and like you're dragging over blocks, but they really don't look good, and you're just trying to get the site layout of your site, right? So I might do something if I was creating GroovePages, right? Let's just make a quick little mock-up of GroovePages real quick. And I don't even know that we have everything in here, but obviously I'm going to need a navigation bar. And I had a few navigations in my menu, so I'm going to pull over here. Now, I don't think this feature actually works, but if it does, I'll be able to explain it. If not, I'll describe it more. Okay, hold on just a second. That's not what we want, right? Bear with me here. Okay. And this is why Matt said just be careful demoing this tonight, Mike, because we're currently working on the pages. Let me try a different navigation bar. Let's try this. I think I tried that one, right? Let's try this one here. All right. Well, I'm getting a CSS error, but oh, hold on just a second. I'm in the pop-up section here. Let me just try that one more time. Let's see. I'm going to try one more navigation bar. If I don't have luck, then we're out of luck. See this one here. It's giving. I think they're all giving me that here. Well, this will be terrible if they all do that. I'm going to switch over to the About Us page, start from scratch, and just forget the navigation. What I wanted to let you know, thank you, Alina. I'm glad it looks nice. Again, we're working on this, and Matt even said, hey, there's going to be some things that that isn't working. They're constantly updating the code, but the rest of the blocks will work. I'm hoping. They worked earlier today. What happens is when I pull that navigation over, as you can see here on this page, without the styling sheets on it, it says Home, About Us, Media, Support, and even the About Us has a drop-down menu that you can see. So it was supposed to pull this over. The style sheet didn't wrap, but what I wanted to just basically show you is as I add pages over here, it automatically adds the pages to the navigation bar for me. And that will work across all of your different pages. This is really killer stuff. Nobody else has anything like that. But let's go back and just build the rest of the site here. So we'll go to the blocks. Let's click on what we call a cover. And
I
we'll
really like, Mike, sorry, it took me a little while to unmute. Not only does it automatically update your navigation, but there was a box underneath that, I don't know if you guys noticed, that said hidden pages. So if you want to create a page that doesn't show up in your navigation, it's easy to do
let
that
me
as
show
well.
you that.
It was
Great
very
point.
thoughtful.
So, right, let's say I want to create something, you know,
Like a thank
let's
you
say
page.
my JV page, right? Yeah, or a thank you page, right? Yeah, there's a thank you page in my funnel. I'll go here. I'll rename this thank you page. Right? I don't need, you know, my download page where you're downloading my ebook, you know, to show up. I'm going to put a dash there. I don't know if you have. I know you don't have to, but well, it'll probably just put a dash into the URL for us. So we're going to call that a thank you. But as Donna just said, we don't, now that's going to show up on my menu. I don't want people seeing that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put hide from navigation, and that's here. And that's more of like a funnel page, right? You're going to build your funnel over here in hidden pages because you don't want your marketing funnels necessarily showing next to home and contact. So this is your navigation, and this is off navigation or hidden pages. Thanks for reminding me that, Donna. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to go back to the About Us page, and as you can see, I just dragged over, you know, my first block. So we're going to now I'm just going to start dumping some stuff in here. We've got, you know, a contact us page, you know, that will probably go more down towards the bottom, but you know, that fills in a map. And then if you go into here and you click on the settings, you can actually put in the location and it'll update the map. If that's cool, type it in the chat there. Let us know. Let's move on to content, right? I may want to add a nice little block like this here. Where did that go? Oh, that went up here. Now, the same thing over here. I have a little drag handle. If that didn't go into the right place, I can just move it just like that. And I'm going to show you some other cool things. We've got some other training to do, so I'm going to try to move along a little bit quicker. We have countdown timers, many different types. And again, remember, these are just the mock-up types, right? Wait till we actually have these things in full color. And I also want to let you know that once you actually put the mock-ups together, what you're going to have is something along the lines of something like this, where you're going to be able to go in to, let's see, your colors, and you'll be able to change the entire theme of this entire site with one click. And then these colors will be set for the theme. So these colors here will change with the way the theme is. We're going to have like a coffee theme, a forest green theme, a deep blue sea green, a deep blue, you know, sea blue, a sky blue, you know, pink, all these different types of sites. So this is one particular default motif that we have right now, and I haven't styled it. Let's just put a couple more things in here. So we did the countdown timer, right? That went in. Or I didn't put that in. Okay, let's do a countdown timer. I like this one with the phone here. Let's drop that right in there. Now, we're also going to have the ability here, when you click on here, check this out. You can click on, so there's a style editor, which is all about the look and feel and the background colors and things like that. But then what we have is the component editor, and we click here. And what you'll do is you'll click browse, and then you can load an image from your hard drive, right? Or you can go into the image search here and type for something, and then you could click on it. I'm not going to do it right now, but what'll happen is I'll hit update, and that picture will show up right here into your laptop, right? Now, maybe I don't want the laptop, right? The iPhone. Maybe I want more of a desktop. So now I'm going into Elements. I know I'm going a little quick. I'm not trying to sell you here, so I'm going to do a quick demo. So then what I do here is I can go into Devices, and I see I've got an Apple Watch. I've got a browser. I've got a desktop computer. Let's drag the desktop computer. And what's nice, if you remember Free Page Builder, it gave you like these blue lines where it was going to drop. This actually shows you the position of it, where it's going to go. So I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to delete this one. Okay, and now I have this piece here, and I believe I can go in here and I can start doing things like the spacing, sizing, shadow. One of these places in here is where I can, you know, move it center, left, and right, and all that different stuff. I haven't even played around with it too much, but again, I can go into this image right here. I can. Oh, wow, we've got different types of them too as well. That's pretty cool. I can add another picture to it. I can link it to any place or a pop-up, all that type of stuff. This is really, really well thought out. Now, I'll add just 2 more blocks just to wrap this up. You always need a footer, right? So let's add this gorgeous, real professional looking footer down to the bottom of the site here, just like that. And now we have, a nice site footer. And let's add testimonials. Always like something like this. Remember, this is just a mock-up mode. Let's put that right over here. Where did my testimonial go? Do you see it? Oh, there it is. It went right where I dropped it. John Doe, right? And let's just add, who's responsible for this website. We'll put that above the contact, and so that's a team, right? So if we add, our cool team, we just drop that again. Drop that right in like that, and now we have, our team. Now, some things here like the backgrounds, it's just like anything else. This whole div here, we have these little things like clone. If we ever want to see the code, lots of developers like to be able to see the code behind it. You just click like this, and now I can change the background of this, maybe make it white, right? And then this is gray, this is white. I might want to make this section over here white, or even red. I can change that background to maybe like a dark blue, like this. I can adjust the transparency, right? And check this out. I can close this, and I can even add a background image by uploading an image and adding a background like you saw in the Zeppelin, basically, having somebody on a skateboard or something like that. The only thing is I can't read the text anymore, right? So what we do is we click on the text here, and one of the other things I want to let you know, you don't even have to click on the pencil. You can just double click anywhere and just start typing as well. So check this out. This is a really cool editor. So I can just select all this text. And once I do that, let me see why my little editor is not showing up. Bear with me a second, guys. Oh, well, that's not here now. I was going to show you basically the editor that has all the bold and all that stuff that you can follow, work on it inline. But of course, if you want to change, some of the text, for the entire section, you could always go here. I hit the text again. You can always go into bear with me, into the editor, and I can just go here with the text, and I can do something like this and just make, the text larger, smaller, just like that. Maybe I have to highlight it, but I think you get the picture. Some other things I just want to show you real quick that can be done. Things like the padding, in the style editor, the borders. The spacing. Really nice things like this here. You click here, then watch the number change here, and watch how this padding changes up here like that. So you can visually just see the padding move like that. And if I want more padding here at the bottom of this, I would just hit spacing, and then hit some padding here, and maybe move this blue line down so there's more spacing there along the lines like that. So things like that is how this will work. And basically, as you can see, I've built a website. When you go to publish, you click publish, and you put your custom domain. You could either use our domain or your own domain. You click publish, and so we have free hosting with custom domains. If you notice here, let me just tell my wife. She's giving me my ex-wife. She's giving me an update on her cat that's sick. Let me just let her know I'm on a screen recording. Sorry about that, folks. Okay. We have autosave. So remember I was showing you before. Now if we click on the revisions, you'll actually see all of these. These were just autosaved for us. We have a very awesome preview mode. You just click preview and you'll see the actual site that was, that we just, messed around with here. And I'll show you just like one more thing. Like this is an image, right? But let's say I wanted to have a video there. I would come in here and I would find media, and I would just drag over a video and drop that in here. I'd have to come in here and drag the handles and resize it and so forth. But essentially, this is GroovePages. This is going to allow you to create gorgeous looking pages that will render and publish to the web in HTML, meaning the pages are live on the internet, and they just, it's the latest standards in code. So the pages are going to load very, very fast. Other sites like Clickfunnels, what they do is they literally load every single element out of the database, and they're calling a database call every single time to load your page. Your page will be published on the internet and actually living there as an actual HTML page. So real quick, I told you I was going to show you GrooveCell. Not going to spend more than 1 minute on that, but this is basically what's known as a product funnel. And inside a product funnel, you'll have your main product and your upsell and your downsell and, you know, different price points. So this is a product in my product funnel. When you create, you know, a new product, it'll ask you, you know, is this a main product or an upsell or a downsell? But I'm just going to go back on this, and I'm just going to go through a product that we already have. This is just, you know, a sample product. So I'm going to click edit, and this is where you put your product information, description. This is a front end product. Are you accepting PayPal or credit card? You'd click next. You might have seen, you know, different things like that. Kartra users may be familiar with this. This is where you set your price points. One-time recurring. Is it, you know, just an installment program like 3 easy payments? You set this as the default. You can do product trials. If you want to add another price point, you just click on the add button, and now I have price point number 2, and I can go through my different price points. So let's just say price point number 2 is $9.97. It's a one-time price. Your refund period is 30 days, and that's to tell when you're going to pay your affiliates commissions. Where does the affiliate links go? They go here. What happens after the sale? Well, this is the thank you page for price point number 1, and then this is the thank you page for price point number 2, just like that. And then all your, you know, IPNs for different products, so you can, you know, if you have like, you know, back end stuff that you need to connect to, like GrooveKart, right? You know, do we want to have an affiliate program? Yes. What's the commissions for the different price points? How do they get paid? Buffer period is something only we have. Nobody else has this, and what that means is we put 7 days, and that means it doesn't release the commissions for 7 days after the 30-day refund period, because sometimes, you know, the refund period, you know, ends on a Friday, and then the user realizes, you know, Saturday morning they want to get a refund. Your support desk isn't there till Monday, and they say, no, I'm sorry, you're out of the refund period. And he says, only by 1 day, you guys are being mean. And you say, okay, I'm going to refund it, and you end up refunding it 5 days later. The problem is, if you don't have this buffer period to handle refunds that come in on the last day, the commission would have went into from pending to be paid to the affiliate. So this gives you a little buffer. Now you can add additional landing pages. I can add as many landing pages as I want. Why would I want to do that? I might be doing a webinar with you. I might be doing a webinar, or I might be doing for product launch. I might have video number 1 that I want the affiliates to send to, video number 2, video 3, the VSL, the webinar, all that. So this is landing pages for different affiliates. And then you can even say who gets access to this. So I can say, no, I can look up here and I'll see all my affiliates, and I can search, and I can just say, no, only this person gets access to that affiliate program, et cetera, et cetera. And when you're done, you would get this little code that you put on your pages. It's going to automatically integrate with your GroovePages. But if you're using something like WordPress and you still want to track, you can do that. And when you're done, you go over here, you click finish, and let's just, let me just go to little things here just to show you. Once we have the products, you can go over to here, and let me see, I believe this is where you'll get your affiliate link page. And over here, this is your checkout page. Now, do you want a single price checkout? Great. You click next, and you get a buy button link that you add to your add to cart buttons for price point number 1 or price point number 2. And if you'll see, if I click here like this, this is our first default page, but we're gonna have many different, you know, checkout pages where people will be able to go and buy the product. And that'll, you know, if I put, you know, my information in here, and we type in all these 4242s, I think that goes all the way until it's done, and I hit buy now, it should redirect me to AOL, I believe, because I think that's what I put. as a thank you page. So there you go. So that's how that works. But let's say you want to get a checkout page where the customer gets all the options on one page. Well, that's called a multi-checkout page. And you can now say, well, this special at, maybe you have a special price at 97. You don't want that showing because that was a special that you did for, let's say, Black Friday or something. So you can remove what prices you actually want to show up on the page. Here, I'm going to put, I'm okay with both of these. Obviously, these, are congruent. And now I generate a specific link, and now I get a checkout page. And if this works, I'm not sure. What you'll see on this page is the ability to change the price. It's not set up here yet, but you'll be able to actually see an option to choose maybe the payment plan, the dollar trial, or the pay in full, or something like that. So that's GrooveSell. One last thing I want to show you on Groove on GroovePages, and then we're going to be done, and I'll turn it over. So let's say I'm designing this button here, right? And I decide that I want to make this button more like a yellow, like this, and I want the text to be, black, like this. Now I have a button, and let's say I want to round it, right? For this particular button, I want rounded borders, and I slide over like this. And now you see I've just changed that button. But let's say I don't want to keep styling that and styling that and styling that. What I do is I click on it. Instead of clicking on the style editor, I click on the component editor. No, actually it is a style editor. And I go to this thing here called styles, and I can create a new style right here for it, just like this. I give it a name, and I'll call it yellow round. And just like that, I now have a style button that anytime I see another button, I can just go over to that button and just click here, go to styles, look up that style, and click on yellow round. And just like that, I don't have to restyle. And that doesn't work just for buttons. That works for countdown timers, anything you want. So I think I've gone 30 minutes here, what I thought was going to be a 10-minute demo. We'll just save this page and exit. And I'm going to stay on this page. And I'm going to turn it over to John. John and Donna, just give me just a quick minute. I just want to just read the questions. I'm sure. Let's see what people are saying. This looks really nice. You promised, we believed, you're delivering. Thank you very much, Len. This looks great. Can't wait to get my hands on it. Yes, in 2 weeks. Just got home from work and missed the first 30 minutes. Will there be a replay? Always a replay inside of GrooveKart Academy. Will GroovePages will it display on mobile devices? So let me just show you real quick. So I believe this is where's the page that I just created? Maybe this one here. So what you can do is two different things. Number one, you can oh look, the navigation came back and started working again. So let's trash this one and trash this one. Another little feature that we have, I think I was working on the About Us page. Another feature that we have is that sometimes when you're hovering over these things and you're trying to say, no, I want to get the whole thing that's around the countdown timer, and all these things start going crazy, don't worry, you just click anywhere and you can see that you're here in the dome tree. And you can either click here on the dome tree or just click go up one, and now you're around not the inner part. So this would have allowed you to, when I'm here, to to work on the 00 text, and I clicked one up, and now I can make this circle or square. I'm going to go up one more time like this, and now I'm actually into the countdown timer. And I could just keep going up all the way up, all the way until I'm all the way up to the the full block. Just to show you how to do that, if I wanted to do that with the countdown timer, I click on Style Editor, and I can change, if it's round or whatnot. But here's where you set the countdown timer. Is it a fixed, a daily? Is it a landing page timer? And if it's fixed, look at this gorgeous thing right here. This beautiful calendar shows up. So you can say, I want it to end right here at, what particular time. Let's say, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We click OK. What's the time zone, etc. What happens when it's done? Redirect, reset, all that. I click update, and just like that, we've updated our countdown timer. Now you had asked, what about mobile? So we're the latest thing you're going to get here. So you can click here to see what it's going to look like, on different devices. Just by clicking like that. That's mobile. I believe this is tablet, this is laptop, and this is desktop. But more than just how it's going to look, you may not want this this video to show up here on a mobile, or maybe this image you don't want to show on a mobile. So then what you do is you click on this style editor and you say apply this only to the desktop. But in that way, or you can select the ones that you want and leave the ones that you don't want. And so it'll apply styling only to a mobile device. And you can do that, for anything. If you don't want this subheadline to appear, then it won't appear. If you don't want, 2 call to actions on a mobile device to appear, you don't have to. Or if you do, whatever the case is. So I'm gonna wrap it up right there. I know you guys have. Yeah, we'll have full analytics. Pretty much, I think I have all the questions here that you guys have asked. So that's it for a demo of GroovePages that is still 6 weeks before the launch and a good 2 weeks before you're going to be getting access. So, I appreciate you guys seeing the vision of it and letting me be brave enough to show you something 2 weeks before you even get your alpha access and 5 weeks before we actually take it to the public, right? You can imagine, our developers, 6 people working on this, working 14 hours a day. There's just going to be so much more that's going to be done. But with your help, those of you that backed this project, you helped us hire the team that's costing us $45,000 a month, for a UI, a UX designer. You can see this looks like, I don't know if any of you are ClickFunnels users, but that's not a very, very easy software. The admin dashboard and even the user interface to create pages has gotten very, very difficult. So, the fact that this creates actual navigational websites and they're clean and they'll load faster, and the fact that we're going to have a dev kit open up to you and other developers that if you want to go and develop for this the same way people develop for WordPress and they develop for Shopify, we're going to have that for you or other developers. So, if you don't like our pop-ups, which I didn't even show you. Oh, trick-or-treaters downstairs. I didn't even show you the pop-ups. Check this out. If I want to create a pop-up, I just, let me delete this one because I created one earlier. Oh, look at that. I like that little confirm way that they do that here. I've never even seen that. I have to click this pill button to click confirm. So I click add a new pop-up. I give it a name and I'll say, about us exit, because this is an exit page that I only want on the about. And this is an entry or an exit. This is an exit pop-up. And what is a standard? A standard means I could link it to a button. So that way, if they click on a button, I can open a pop-up. But this is going to be an exit. We only want this to show up on the about us. And I want it to show only on the first visit. And I want to give them a nice little warning here that, there's only a limited amount of time. I'll go in, I'll style up all this nonsense. I could, change it to this template here if I want like this. I'll hit save and exit. And now we, when we go back, we can look at our, different pop-ups that we have. I can clone it, rename, edit, delete, all that good stuff. And let's just see if that actually works here. If I go to exit this. Oh, you know what? I'm not on the About Us page. Let me click to the About Us page. Oh, well, that's not working. But as I said, guys, that we're working on this. But you got a good idea, a good understanding of pretty much everything, everything around around this. If I want to undo something, the undo expert mode simplifies the editor, for you. When we let me go to the About Us page. When you go into this editor right now, we're giving a lot of things over here. If you get out of expert mode, the editor is going to have, it's just going to be down to things like just fonts and colors, right? So expert mode is, we don't want to intimidate people, but the people that want to be intimidated and want to be able to go in and they want to be able to put custom CSS attributes, all that stuff is here. Adding shadows. We have things like hover effects. So like when you go over it, what's going to happen on hover, active focus, all these different things that we'll be having training on. So basically our philosophy is this. Everything on the left side of the page that you see here is when, as we said, we're going to have prototype blocks and designer blocks. And when we have something like, if you go to get a countdown timer, for instance, let me see where that is. We're going to give you multiple different countdown timers, red, yellow ones, green ones, circle ones, all different types. So what we want is the left side to be what we call the no thought section. The people that have never worked on a computer before and don't know what do you mean I can change the color of the font, and what is padding, and what is adding a border and a shadow and a hover effect. None of that stuff is going to exist here. We're going to be designing all of the templates and the blocks and everything pretty much that you would ever want will be in here in your blocks and your elements and your page templates and your pop-ups. We want to have this thing completely so gorgeous that you really never have to go into the style editor. But for those of you that are experts and you want to focus on, every single aspect of, the background and, the color, you want to focus on adding an image, the borders, the spacing, sizing, adding shadows, all that different stuff. You will have the ability to do all of that if you need. So this style editor is only, what we call advanced users, and we're going to keep the left side over here for the pre-made stuff where most people are going to feel more comfortable just dragging and dropping stuff that we've pre-designed. Right now, we don't have the ability, but you will, to be able to take columns and just drag the handles to make columns a little bit wider and so on and so forth. And even this is really nice. One last thing, the empty blocks that we have. Usually, like in Free Page Builder, we only had a feature to drag empty blocks, but we've even said, why do you have to drag a block and then decide how many columns that you want? We've just made it with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 blocks. So if you want to have a block where you want to add, let me just see here. Let me get out of this and go back to, oh, I see why. Oh, no wonder why that pop-up looks so bad. I was on the iPhone mode. Let me just look at that again and just look at that pop-up. There we go. I was in iPhone mode, and that's why that looks so weird when I pulled it in, if you remember. Okay, so now that I'm in desktop mode, and I go to the blocks and I click empty, an empty block.
The top.
Oh, thank you. And I want to do, let's say, a 4-column, just to give you an example of what this might be, right? I would just go here like this. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns that I can actually drag elements in, right? So I can now go to the elements, and I might say, okay, I want to put, a headline in the first block. I want to put a button in the 4th block, like this. I might want to put a watch in the 3rd one and an iPhone in here. And then we could go in and we can resize these different things and all that good stuff. And if you notice, we also even have in here a carousel. So let's create another block. And I gotta turn this over to John. I'm just gonna create a oneer empty block, right? And I'm gonna put in this 1 row empty block a carousel, just to give you an example of what could be done here. I put this in here like this. Make sure I got that. Okay, and I think I missed it. Okay, and now that I have a carousel, I now go into the style editor, and what I do is I say, how many images do I want to go inside of this? I lost my connection here. How many images do I want to put inside of here? Whoops. So number of slides. So I might want 7 slides, right? Look at that. There's the 7 pictures I've got to upload. Or I want 3, and I want it to autoplay, and I want it to loop. Okay, and then I go into my image library, and the first thing I want is somebody that's on, skiing, right? So I type in skiing, and I add a skier, right? Because I'm designing a ski website, and I would hit submit, and then on those WordPress sites where these things just keep sliding in, and we're probably gonna have to put one more thing in here, like what is the delay of the slider? The user will have big arrows over here that they could click through with the 3 little buttons telling them how many images there are, and then I'll let the guys know to add in a delay so that you can say, I want it to slide every 3 seconds or every 7 seconds. So we're just scratching the surface here, but as you can see, those of you that helped us fund this, you see what you're getting, you see where your money went. Hope we didn't disappoint. So that is it for the demo. I'm going to find my go-to webinar stuff here. I see the questions are mostly very exciting stuff. Does it come with a chat box as well? No, it won't have a chat box. But again, we're gonna have an API. So if you want to create something called Groove Chat and sell for $19 a month or something like that, you can go right ahead, and we'll probably get to it in about a year. But obviously, we want to focus on making this a world-class builder rather than a good builder with lots of other features like chat bots and things like that. Okay. All right. So folks, I'm going to stop sharing my screen.